Welcome to Sunday Morning Quarterback with Jay Stockwell and Bob Frady.
Welcome to Sunday Morning Quarterback, Nebraska edition. For those of you who are watching on the YouTube, do the clickety-click subscribe thing.
Subscribe.
It's only been 2 years, and we forgot to tell people to do that. So you can see that we are on the edge digital marketers. Yeah, baby. Well, I'm a digitari. Use that clickety-clack. You'll notice I am wearing my Celtics jersey and my Nebraska hat because there is one of our friends on the Twitter who is called Celtic Husker. And if you don't follow him, you should, because he does a good job of putting out some stats during the game. So, anyway, little shout out.
You're actually interacting with them?
Yeah, dude. If you don't follow Sunday Morning Quarterback on the Twitter, you get this is the sanitized version of all the nonsense I spewed during the game. I was going off yesterday. I was going off.
This is another thing that we should be doing as podcasters that we don't, which is interact with the people.
Do it every chance I get. And my overwhelming emotion from yesterday's game is that Marcus Satterfield needed to walk home. He needed to think about what he'd done and walk home. Like Bob Frady at the 14th hole, like, walk home. I need you to think about what you've done here. Come up with and behave better next time you're on the course. So first it was take the bus, and then I went straight to walking.
I was so happy though with the way the team in general responded, played well, one-score game, and if the officials had any level of non-bias, then we would have won that game for sure.
Yeah, I guess it's holding if Nebraska does it. It's just cuddling if Ohio State does it.
Yeah,
and the refs look like they had a nice cuddle session.
Fundamentals of placing the ball where the guy goes down.
Criticizing the officials is like as old as the game itself.
Yeah.
And officiating a game is really hard. And for anyone who has criticized an official, I suggest you pick up some stripes and get out there and try it, because it will temper your enthusiasm for criticism once you realize how hard it is.
Yep.
And it's hard, especially at the higher levels where the athletes are much bigger and faster than your 6-year-old soccer game. But even that's stressful. So, I've been a baseball umpire for almost 20 years, so I get it. It's hard. There's always situations where you get caught. But the basics are like, put the ball where the ball belongs, and you miss that. How do you miss a first down?
Yeah.
How do you miss it?
Right where the guy's laying on the ground, grab the ball and set it down. That's what you have to do.
It's like, and it wasn't like his knee was down and you reached over. It's like, he made the first down, and then they push the ball back and they take the first down away. Like, that official needs to go back to high school and work some high school games. He should walk home with Satterfield.
Rule said at halftime, it was the first time he felt like this was a championship team at halftime, the way they were behaving. And that's a very, very good signal for me, especially after the way things went down in Indiana. So we'll see. But, so my 9-3 prediction is still alive, Bob Frady.
I am not criticizing Matt Rule. I refuse to do so because I still believe, because the Kool-Aid's tasting and I'm still drinking it.
Yeah.
However, you're only as strong as your weakest link in the chain. And to me, that's pretty clear.
Yeah.
And it starts in the offensive coordinator booth. How many times has Nebraska put up 35 or more points since Matt Rule has been head coach?
That's a really good question. My guess is it's going to be about 0.
It's 1. The University of Texas Extravagantes, who was winless until last week.
Yeah.
They put up 40. Not even close in almost 2 full seasons.
And you've got talent on that team. I mean, you just do.
It's talent is one thing. Scheme is another. Good scheme with lesser talent wins. I mean, look at Indiana.
Yeah.
They have great scheme. And they have some talent, but they got a great scheme. And
they're disciplined too. Just disciplined.
Yeah. And we got a terrible offensive scheme.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of moral victories. So, we'll talk about the upcoming game in a later podcast, but they get one more shot. I mean, Satterfield, to me, has one more shot.
Or they're going to...
If he fumbles it away again, then they need to make a change.
They're going to lose Dylan Railola if they don't, right? If they don't fix
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows what the offseason? I'm more concerned about Sidoni.
You know what I'd love to see? What I love to see, though, was Railola running the ball, because he's not running the ball. It's completely one dimension, which is why we can't run the ball. So we actually ran the ball 121 yards to just 64 for Oklahoma, for Ohio State. 152 yards passing, 21 for 33 versus 221, 13 for 16. Both had an interception. Total offense 273 versus 285. So very evenly matched game. We had third down conversions. We were 5 of 16. They were just 1 of 10.
Yeah,
wow.
The defense carried the day yesterday.
Yeah,
it was, and what do they have on defense? They have good players, but they have good scheme. And yeah, listen, last week has just looked more and more like an aberration in the rearview mirror. But if you had said at the beginning of the season they'd be 5-3 after the Ohio State game and held Ohio State, only lost by 4, you'd have been jumping up and down.
Well, so I would have been really happy at 6-2, but
you'd have taken 5-3. It's like
yeah.
So I guess we're not in a horrible spot, but after a while, numbers don't lie. You can look at 1 or 2 and draw conclusions, but if you look over, this is now 18 games.
Yeah.
And you've passed 35 points once. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
To me, that's a bad scheme. And so, hopefully they right the ship versus UCLA. We'll see what happens. Let's see what the writers
are saying. Tad Stryker, my man. Have we seen this movie before, or will it be a hard-fought 21-17 loss in the horseshoe, be a substantial step in a long-awaited revival for Nebraska football? Christopherson, what will hurt the most about this one is that Nebraska will see many ways this game could have been in its pocket. True. This is one I really like, Tom Chattel. If that defense of the Huskers if that's the defense the Huskers are going to get for the next 4 games, they have a chance to win out, which I agree with. Sherman, do you trust the Huskers? That is the question now, because if you do, reason exists to believe they can win any or all of their final 4 games. So there's sentiment there.
Every game's a toss-up from here on out.
Embarrassed last week at Indiana. This is Arnie Just, Lincoln Journal-Star. Disappointed this week against Ohio State. That's at least trending in the right direction. Here, red meat for Bob Frady. Satterfield's obsession with making the offense dynamic through short throws has not worked out all year, Saturday being no exception.
It hasn't worked out in a season and a half. It's not just this year. You have different quarterbacks. You got different lineups. You got supposed to have better players. Offense is no better this year than it was last year. And that's really saying something.
Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch. Buckeye Nation can't be ecstatic with the final score. 1 positive. Will Howard completed 2 long touchdown passes finally. That's when we had 1, but it was called back. Ohio State has nobody to blame but itself for its depth issues on the offensive line getting this bad. They were bad. Our defense was just having their way with them.
They lost their left tackle, and listen, Nebraska's on their 3rd string left tackle, so they lost their starting left tackle, and it was like a party in the backfield. So congratulations to Ohio State, they won the game. Congratulations to the defense and to the team of Nebraska for battling back and showing some strength. But I still think that Satterfield needs to walk home. But he's probably already back there. Just make him walk to his house. Something. Have to think of, take his keys and his phone away and see what happens.
Well, like you did at Edina Country Club, you figure out what's the farthest place away from your house when you walk off.
That was a walk I shan't forget. So and after about 7/8 of the walk, I'm like, that's where they go. And I started to laugh the last part of it. But I was super mad, but I was laughing at the same time. I'm like, this will be funny someday. Just not yet. Now it's funny. So
let's look ahead. Let's look ahead a little bit here, Freddie.
Okay.
So we got 4 games, UCLA at Southern Cal. Still a possibility we might pull the trigger to go to that game. You'll be out there already, won't you?
I will be there, but I won't be at the game. Last time I looked listen, I told you, no more away games. If I'd have been in Indiana, what would have happened?
Yeah, that would have been a good spot for Bob.
Wouldn't have been good. Now, you think USC's any better? Like, no. USC looked good again on offense last night, but I tell you what, they're right for the plucking on defense. And then Wisconsin and Iowa. I don't understand Iowa putting up 40 points. I mean, Iowa's a perfect story because Francis' son was the offensive coordinator, and he was the Satterfield of Iowa. And lots of hand-wringing. Don't do it. And then finally they get rid of him, and they banged out 40 points twice this season. Yeah. Iowa scored 40. It's possible. So, and it's just sometimes you have the wrong general, or you've got the wrong player on your team, and you know it. And you can keep pumping good money after bad, or you can cut your losses and move on. And they got another offensive coordinator who can call plays. So let's see what he's got. He's on the staff already. It's like no continuity interruption. Like already on T.
Coach FEMA is going to be on. Coach Tim Miles is going to be on pod next weekend.
Very nice. Well, we hope, unless he has tea time or something like that, then we'll put you around.
Report out there at San Jose State.
Dude, California. We might have to do the pod early next week because I'm going to be in Santa Barbara. It's parents' weekend, and my youngest is a senior in college. How about that?
Wow.
And
crazy.
Going to go to parents' weekend. One last parents' weekend. Done.
All right. Hey, take us out real quick. This is Mike Mazzaro calling. So that means
ready?
Yeah.
Go! Wow, that was premature red on that one.